Last time on Island ADV.
We're day 2 now. We got a couple objectives today.
Island rider Sean, who works with the Department of Natural Resources here, he's going to let us have time in the hangar. These are incredibly impressive machines.
That was cool.
That was super cool, man. Alright, so another awesome dirt road find that's going to take us to our next objective, and our next objective is going to be Grand-Pré. So what's the significance of that? Well, way back in the 1700s, like taking it way back, a lot of this area in the Maritimes and a lot of Upper Canada and the Northern Americas was under contention between the British and the French, and that went on for quite some time until eventually the British ended up overwhelming the French forces and seized control of this area. And when I say this area, I mean New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island and here in Nova Scotia. So the idea was the British moved in and the French had to move out. And that was an ugly process for sure. And Grand-Pré is basically the ground zero of the outcome of that. And it's a very haunting thing to think about. And when I talk about it, I'm talking about the expulsion of the Acadians. So that's our plan, Island Riders. We're going to meander through the woods a little bit. We're going to head up to Noel Shore, and then we're going to push on further into Grand-Pré, and we're going to try to find the location where the Acadians were deported. I think I have an idea where it is. Oh my goodness, this is such a beautiful spot. We are starting to get right into the beauty of the valley now, Island Riders. Right on. Let's keep pushing. Watch out, kitty cat. So that was a really nice ride up through the Glooscap Trail and through Noel, or Noel. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but it was beautiful. A lot of really cool scenes from the Fundy, you know, shores in there. And we're at low tide right now, so it's been pretty good. So we're making our way, kind of taking the back roads up through towards Grand-Pré. And I think the plan is going to be to get to Windsor and then move up into where I suspect is the site of the deportation of the Acadians. So I don't know how. Yeah, it looks like the road kind of deteriorates right away, which is quite nice. This is good stuff. Whoa, there we go. So I'll say, man, one thing I've loved about this trip so far is it seems like we've been able to stitch most of what we want to do together through roads like this.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I don't know if it's pretty close to like 60-40 weighted to highway at this point, which is quite good, I think. So what do you have for like waterproofing aside?
So for waterproofing, I've got all my main bags in my back case are waterproof. They're watertight. In terms of like clothing, I've got the Gore-Tex socks. I've got waterproof pants and a waterproof jacket. So, and they're all like low profile, so I can throw them underneath my actual riding equipment.
Yeah.
And just be good to go.
Sweet. I've got, I think all of my sleep system is waterproofed. All of my clothes are waterproofed. The cooking saddlebag, which is like this one here, is not waterproofed at all. Just because it's just cooking stuff, so I figure it doesn't matter. And then I've got a waterproof jacket underneath the top saddlebag. I've got a waterproof tank bag cover, and I've got the waterproof liner for these hawk pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sean and Ken there at the hangar were asking me about the hawk gear, how I liked it. Or no, I think it was Dan. Dan was asking me, and I was telling him all the good things about it. And I forgot to mention how like kind of thin and shaky the waterproof section is.
Well, I mean, they're so cheap. You get like they had to cut costs somewhere.
Exactly.
So I mean, for the amount that you pay for it, it's well worth it.
Yeah, 100%. You can see all the reflective material they have on the trees for when they run this in the wintertime or night.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Could you imagine hauling lumber out of here like nighttime?
It'd be sketchy.
It would be.
It'd be awesome.
I love this road though so far.
Yeah, it's fairly, like, it's in good shape.
I wish we had more time, man, because I see like all the snowmobile trail like all over the place there, and like a lot of it, but jeez, man. Do you want to just go check that road out real quick?
The Wilbury one?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Let's get turned around. Let's just go in. We'll take a little sample.
And then pop back out.
But we'll just pop back out. Because I think that looked too good. I don't know. I know we're trying to... I just said, you know, time is the essence, but... Wilbur Road. Wilbur grass patch, basically. It's this one little bridge that kind of caught my eye.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw it went down. I immediately, I didn't get a good look. I kind of figured it would just be swamp right here.
Oh, I love it. All right, you want to see where this takes us?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, we got the tree down. Little one though, I think we might be able to do her. See if I can roll it. There we are. Oh, that was a bug.
You good?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take high left on this. Seems like the...
Yeah, I think you're right. Stuff like this tends to be so slick.
No. Well, someone came here for a camp.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Ooh, there's a trail deteriorates. Another little tree branch down. Another one up ahead. Big rut on right side. It's kind of squirrely. Whoa, yep.
You good?
Yeah. Gets a little swampy right here. Oh, okay. I don't know. Big mud hole.
What are you thinking? Is it worth the risk? Because I don't know how much farther we're going past that either, eh?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, huh? I'm just gonna see how soft it is.
Okay.
Oh, it's all silt. There's about 8 inches of just like soft silty muck.
Oh yeah, that's gross.
I say we turn around.
God, you go so close to that. We're good. Branch hanging down on
Oh yeah.
right side.
I got all that one. Yeah.
Oh, bit of swamp here. I'm just gonna go through the rut.
Very awesome. Alright, back to the main drag.
Back to the main drag.
So I guess it's been a while since I've talked about the primary mission of this whole trip. Now I know we're taking a look at a variety of stories out here, and we're taking a look at a variety of awesome trails too. But like every trip, as I mentioned before, we usually have one central mission, and as I mentioned before, that mission is to kind of investigate or just to be in the presence of Shag Harbor and the Shag Harbor UFO incident. And the reason why I'm so interested in it is because of the way it was handled. Like I mentioned before, a UFO incident is a UFO incident. You know, they get looked at and they get talked up and the conspiracy theories fly, but not usually. What happens is a bunch of people in, you know, a bunch of G-men in suits come by and sweep everything under the rug. But in this one, it wasn't that. The way it shook down was that the UFO went out into the harbor and it was submerged into the water. It made contact with the earth and went underwater. And as soon as that happened, the whole community started coming together and getting in the boats and went after it. Normally people are just like, oh my god, a UFO, amazing. But these guys were like, all right, let's go get it. And like, they all gravitated right out into the harbor. But not only that, RCMP, Coast Guard, the Navy, all moved in on this thing. And the fact that it had that much attention on it is what sparks my interest, because I don't know of a lot of UFO stories that have that kind of attention put onto it. Plus, we've been looking at all these little harbors, all these little communities throughout this whole season, and we've been seeing the kind of resiliency in the communities and what they're capable of doing. So I'm interested to go there and see what they ended up coming up with after they went out there. Maybe we'll find an answer, maybe we'll find someone who knows, maybe not. But it's still worth pursuing, that's for sure. Oh man, but this trail, this road is just worth pursuing too. We're making our way, what are we at now? I think we're 47 minutes away from Grand-Pré, so let's keep pushing to that objective. That's another story that still needs to be finished off. Alright, so we made it to Grand-Pré after a little bit more of that dirt and a little bit of highway, which wasn't too bad actually. I've been finding overall this new TKCA 80 rear tire has been great on the highway, which bodes well for our long journey home. But Grand-Pré has one really cool thing going for it. One, it has a National Historic Site. Plus, it has a small wharf in Hortonville, which is where we're headed. Now, if you'd like to go see the historic site, it's quite close to here. But we're after what that thing's pointing to, the Horton Landing. The signs are a nice touch.
They are.
Oh man, that view down there though. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Look at all that water. should be this road right here that looks like this guy's driveway.
Yes.
I'm going for it. There it is. It's a beautiful dairy farm. Oh, look at the starlings. I'll go nice low idle through here for you there, gentlemen. So, if in the 1700s, mid 1700s, you were Acadian, you're brought to this place to be expelled from the area. And that was no easy task by any means. You gotta imagine people were coming here from all over the Maritimes, being uprooted from their homes and the places they grew up in, the places that they created farms like this one. All to be told you were going to get on a ship and go somewhere else. Now other Acadians, they fled it, of course. There are a lot of French communities down towards New Orleans actually that have Acadian roots. But thousands died making that trip. And it's just crazy. I think about it. You know, at a young age growing up in Moncton, we talked a lot about it, and I knew a lot of folks, and I had friends of mine that were Acadian, and it's a real big part of their culture. A huge part. And how couldn't it be? Something so, you know, polarizing. Just grabs a community, brings them together. I cannot even begin to imagine what it would have been like to have to struggle through that. But that wasn't the end of their story, that's for sure. Many of the Acadian peoples returned back to these lands, and you can see it now as you travel through Moncton, as you travel up through Acadie and up through, you know, the northern, western parts of Prince Edward Island, and even many places here in Nova Scotia. You see thriving Acadian communities, and their culture is just so rich. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if you want to go to Spotify, look up a band called I'm gonna count it out, 1755, but it's 1755, and it's a beautifully awesome band, man. Now they know how to kick a jam off. Now that is Acadian culture, and that is something that you can only get when you've been through struggle like this. So this was the objective, to come here and just be in this place for a little bit. I came here a long time ago with my dad, and I didn't really get it because I was too young, but I kind of get it now. And I'm glad I could be here. Again, I love that farm though. All right, well, another story down and into the Annapolis Valley official. Now, we find the rail bed and make our way to Annapolis Royal. And maybe we'll have a stop in between there too.